Good morning, all, and welcome to the fourth hour. Let's go right to Donald Trump's True Social account and see what he is saying this morning. The president saying we had a very good and productive discussion here with President Putin. There is a very good chance that this horrible, bloody war can finally come to an end. But he's posted this within the last hour. He said, but at this very moment, thousands of Ukrainian troops are completely surrounded by the Russian military and in a very bad and vulnerable position. I've strongly requested to President Putin that their lives be spared. This would be a horrible massacre, one not seen since World War II. God bless them all, the president writes. Now, get a load of this. The president is also congratulating Senator Charles Schumer for doing the right thing. He says it took guts and courage. I don't know that it was guts and courage that we saw on display yesterday. But this is what the president is saying. The big tax cuts, LA, fire fix, debt ceiling bills, so much more is coming. We should all work together on that very dangerous situation. A non-pass would be a country destroyer. Approval would lead us to new heights. Again, really good and smart move by Senator Schumer. Oh, this just must sit. Senator Schumer can't be pleased to be seeing this. Given how he spoke about President Trump yesterday, he said this could lead to something big for the USA, a whole new direction and beginning. Let's hope so. It's certainly my prayer. As we talk about Senator Schumer, I'm going to return to the president's True Social account here in just a few moments. But Senator Schumer, this just cracked me up. This is a story at Straight Arrow News. Now take a look at that photo of Schumer. You know what it reminded me of? Have you ever seen a Muppet Christmas Carol? There goes Mr. Humbug. There goes Mr. Grimm. that's Chuck Schumer right there. It's just it's delightful to watch the Democrats have to buckle, and it's such a change of pace. Yeah, I think he did. I think you're absolutely right, Edgy, that he realized the government shutdown would only help President Trump. And Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is out there with all of these, tough words about Senator Schumer. And I'm just like, oh, man, so many. It's just noise. It's just becomes noise. But let's jump back to the president's True Social account, see what else is on his mind. So he congratulated Schumer. I want to show this. He's saying that crooked Joe Biden got us into a real mess with Russia and everything else, but I'm going to get us out. Millions of people are needlessly dead, never to be seen again, and there will be many more to follow if we don't get the ceasefire. And now, again, this is prior to the tweet that he had about the conversation with Putin this morning. So he said there will be many more to follow if we don't get the ceasefire and final agreement with Russia completed and signed. There would have been no war. A lot of this we've heard before. There would have been no October 7th with Israel. The pullout from Afghanistan would have been done with strength and pride. Would not have been the most embarrassing day in the history of our country. I would say for that reason alone, I would never vote for a Democrat again. Now, there are a number of other reasons too, but I would say for that reason alone, I will never vote for a Democrat for president again. I just absolutely cannot do it. Cannot bring myself to do it. Oh, what a difference a rigged and crooked election had on our country. And the people who did this to us should go to jail. So those are among some of the comments the president is sharing on on True Social. Now, while we are talking about Joe Biden, this is a story. Is this New York Post? Oh, this is a piece by Charles Gasparino. And I mentioned him earlier this week. He had a really, I thought, powerful piece talking about what was happening in terms of Trump and some of the inflation and the real impact on a lot of this. So he's saying that Biden ran up insane bills before he left office. And so Trump's talking about how to bring them down. Yeah, no kidding. That's a great graphic. Past due. So Team Trump battling not only the Democrats and the stock market, but a huge and unproductive spending spree that Joe Biden unleashed in the final months of his presidency. And he was trying to goose the economy and the markets in order to benefit Kamala Harris. Didn't work. Bad news is the bill is coming due. So what is the president saying? Let's try to get down to this. Numbers anywhere between 250 and 300 billion. Wow. Incredible. Everyone agrees that it's a lot of money that the bloated federal government doesn't have. You can't roll over debt forever because investors get wise to the game and then keep demanding even higher interest rates to lend the government money. So Trump is saying, or the Trump team is saying, this is going to take a while. Again, you don't get yourself into these messes overnight, and you into it overnight. You certainly can't get out of it overnight. So they're rolling over short-term debt because they don't want to upset the interest rates environment. They're trying to be very careful. It's very interesting. And he writes that the markets are focused on short-term pain and, of course, tariffs. Bond trading is signaling a recession. Even if the economy was slowing before Trump took office, stocks are freaking out over tariffs. Yeah, I couldn't play the stock market. Seriously. I shouldn't say that. They freak out. Oh, our money is at risk. I think if you're going to be investing, you've got to be able to stand fast or get out. I mean, I don't think it's for people who are weak. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, kind of an interesting piece. Biden was asleep for most of his presidency. When he wasn't spending money he didn't have. Hasn't been heard from much now that he's in retirement. But if he ever manages to wake up from his extended slumber, someone might want to ask him why electing Harris was worth all that spending and the hole that he left for Trump. Yeah, great points. Great points. We have talked quite a little bit about illegal aliens and the issue of what's happening at Guantanamo Bay, I think, is a big one. Fox News has this story this morning. All illegal immigrants being held in Guantanamo have been sent to Louisiana. Now, that sounds like a lot. You hear all of them, 40 have been sent now. 40 illegals have been sent back to the United States. The group includes 23 high-threat illegal aliens who were being held there. So why were they sent back to the United States? Don't know. Homeland Security and ICE have not yet responded to questions. But that is a big story this morning at Fox News. We've got to take this spending. I should have tied these spending stories together because Democrats, the reaction. You have to forgive me because I find it funny. You know, that photo of Schumer I shared with you a few moments ago. Joe. It is so refreshing to see the shoe on the other foot since Donald Trump has gone to work as president. So now Democrats are crying foul after Schumer saying he's going to pass the CR. And there are other Democrats who are also going to do the same. And I don't want to ridicule them. It's the right thing to do. It clearly is the right thing to do. But Schumer is catching a lot of heat from some Democrats. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. I cannot underscore enough how incorrect that is. What voting for this CR does is that it codifies the chaos and the reckless cuts that Elon Musk has been pursuing, the robbing of our federal government in order to, now keep in mind, that's not what the CR is doing. In fact, they're going back and looking at spending levels. They're trying to find something that was not going to be entirely objectionable. So this is just nonsense. I mean, coming from Ocasio-Cortez, but what else is new? I mean, 19 times out of 20, when she opens her mouth, it's nonsense that pours out. So she's upset about it. Elon Musk has been pursuing this robbing of our federal government in order to finance tax cuts for billionaires. Oh, the same old story that the Democrats have always, it's the millionaires, billionaires, says millionaire Bernie Sanders. I mean, give me a break. It's just the same old noise from these people. Representative Bonnie Watson Coleman of New Jersey said this Republican bill is bad for workers, bad for our veterans, bad for our seniors. Republicans should pull us and let us get back to work crafting a budget that works for all of our families. Susan Rice. Susan Rice. WTF? Senator Schumer, please grow a spine and quickly, she says. Oh, Susan Rice, do not let the door hit you on the way out. These people, it's just, and here comes another one. You get rid of one nut, here comes another one. Representative Jasmine Crockett of Texas. It's clear that some of us understand the present danger and some don't. She says, I stand by the no vote on the blank check for Trump and Elon. You notice how now it's always Trump and Elon. This is, who told the Democrats that was a winning strategy? Trump and Elon. They just want to demonize. They're going to demonize Elon Musk the same way they have demonized Trump. And they will demonize anybody else who associates this closely with the president. And I think probably in the case of Elon Musk, did you happen to hear Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins yesterday? I laughed out loud. Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins, we carry their show each day on KELO. They were airing segments from the legacy media, from the state media, right, of Elon Musk back when he was a Democrat. And prior to him then, joining the Trump team and all this. So they were, they're running all these media reports. Forgive me, my phone was buzzing. I should have silenced my phone. All of these media reports and just glowing praise of Elon Musk. And Brian Williams of NBC News, oh, Elon Musk and all this. And it's like, oh, the testimonials that the legacy media were doing for Elon Musk were just, incredible. And I listened to that yesterday and I laughed out loud. I got to tell you, it's just absolutely. So the hypocrisy of these people is just so hard to stomach. It's why I haven't trusted them for a long time. Still don't trust them. But how they have flip-flopped. And it was the same way with Donald Trump. I think a lot of you will remember Donald Trump, before Donald Trump was, became a Republican, it was, Donald Trump was really held up and, the left loved him because they believed that he was one of them. They thought they thought that Donald Trump was one of them. And then once they discovered that he wasn't, well, then it would, and it's been hatred that we have seen ever since. I mean, it's just absolutely incredible. So that piece about, again, the legacy media and all the reports on Elon Musk prior to him, and they were talking about Tesla and, looking at Tesla with a look at what he is doing and just with all of this great regard, because at that time he was a Democrat. And so they thought, we got to build this guy up, right? And, look, it's just, and now he's the worst thing you've ever seen. Now he's out there and he's working with Trump, and it's just absolutely outrageous. And it just, these flip-flops by the legacy media, I think, are just a bit too much. Okay, I've got a few other stories that I'll share with you here this morning before we wrap it up for another week. Trump administration talking about Columbia University, the next steps for bringing the school into compliance with policies against anti-Semitism on campus. So the General Services Administration has sent a letter to the school's interim president outlining the next steps. The letter says U.S. taxpayers invest enormously in U.S. colleges and universities, including Columbia University, and it is the responsibility of the federal government to ensure that all recipients are responsible stewards of federal funds. Columbia University, however, has fundamentally failed to protect American students and faculty from anti-Semitic violence and harassment, as well as other alleged violations, as you can see here. And so then they say the school must enforce existing disciplinary policies, means that the school needs to expel or enact multi-year suspensions for these students who occupied Hamilton Hall. And now it's kind of beginning to make sense, because one of the stories that I saw this morning that was trending was that Columbia is begun to do this, because now they're at the same time that this letter is, were they on that path to doing that anyway? Perhaps they were. I'm not going to say they weren't, but it certainly is hard to believe it's a coincidence that they're being told that they need to do these things, and then suddenly they're doing those things. I mean, which I think is going to sit all right with many of us. All right, you have made it to the end of the video. You are part of my gallery of champions. I really appreciate having you here. Please hit that like button before you exit the auditorium. That would be very much appreciated. I want to wish you a terrific weekend, my friend. You take care. I hope to see you again on Monday. So long until then, and may God bless.